What is going on, guys? This is Dan the Man, aka Daniel's son, and we are talking Mayans MC Season 3, Episode 7. Spoiler review. Everybody who was talking about the last episode and how slow it was, what the hell did I just say? I told you that we're here. We're at the war. Things are going, this is a faster paced episode. There is a lot of things going on in this episode. There's a lot of deaths going on in this episode. If I had to sum up this whole episode, it's the reckoning, right? It's the reckoning, and then it's the consequences for a lot of things that are happening. It gets more crazier. It gets more crazier. Now, there is some things I didn't like about this episode, so we'll address that first. First thing I did not really like about it is Coco. Coco is such a great, for me, he was the standout in the last two seasons because the last two seasons were, in my opinion, lackluster. I think season 2 kind of picked it up, but Coco was always the bright spot, right? Coco in this season, a lot of people are not digging this storyline. We could beat this horse to death. I mean, I've said it 1,000 times that we'll wait till the payoff. But honestly, after he has a conversation with Letty, and I said that either Letty's going to help him out, get him clean, but they really bypass that pretty fast, right? With the conversation they have, he finally comes home. My main issue is the club still never asks where's Coco when this episode opens up with a bang. I mean, it opens up with some brutality. There's brutality in this episode. Even when we come back to commercial break, brutality. We see the effects of war, and you see the Bishop's Charter going to work, right? Looking for Ramos. Yet the question is, how is nobody still asking where the hell Coco is? We get Steve. Steve is back, but nobody is asking where Coco is. So Coco goes home. It's not the actor's fault. I know this really is close to home. So is Elgin James. I know that whole story. But the thing is, it's not done properly, I guess, because we've seen this done 1,000 times. If you ever seen Breaking Bad and you see Jesse Pinkman's situation, it's very similar. The thing why that worked is because Jesse Pinkman as a character was way over his head. He was absolutely if you think that Coco has a shittier life than Jesse Pinkman, you're not paying attention. That's the problem I have, I think, with this season is that Coco, it just really became the storyline in this season, even though maybe it was hints of it the last couple seasons, especially with his mom. But it's just not executed where it's really, there's nothing to say that hasn't already been said before or hasn't been done better before. So that's the issue I have with this. I said it's only go two ways. Either Letty helps him out, he gets clean, he ends up going to kill Isaac, which Isaac wasn't in this episode, or he succumbs to Odin. And after him telling Letitia, I wish you were never born, I wish I never had you, that was the end point, right? That was where you can't come back from that. Even though Letty at the end of the episode tried to kind of come back and talk things through, I'm pretty sure that Coco's not dead. Hope might be dead. Hope definitely might be dead, but Coco, I don't think he's dead yet. This might be a wake-up call. The things that I said about Letty maybe helping him out, maybe that's going to start happening, because I thought that was so, that was it. It was a conversation and she was gone. But I'm glad she came back in the ending of the episode, so that means she might be helping out Coco. I don't think he's dead, honestly, but I think it's very strange that the club members just don't know where the hell he is. And there's other issues I have with the Bishop. I love Bishop, but there is questions I have for that dude. So that's my take on the Coco situation. It is what it is. If he ODs, honestly, that's what do you expect, right? If he goes down this path, what do you expect? I don't really, not going to shed a tear. I'm going to shed the tear of that they went this route, but as a character right now, no, because he's, this is what he's doing. But I hope that, I'm hoping that we kind of go past this and this is just this season, because that's my take on it, guys. I've seen it done better. I get the whole backstory and everything. I just feel like a character like Coco, he was just done better in the last couple seasons, and we didn't really need this in this season, especially when there's a war coming on and he's not even involved. Let's get into the war, okay? Wow, Taza cannot swing a bat. Poor Taza, he just cannot tear up shit with the bat. You know, he could use a knife, but he can't use a bat. I loved it. I loved how they started off with one of the charter members from Stockton. The mom of what was it? Flacco's mom blamed him for the death, or blamed just the whole charter itself. And then he's going to his girl, and then freaking Angel, man, beats him right. I thought he was dead. Honestly, I thought they killed him, but they just beat the shit out of him. They're looking for Ramos. Bishop is looking for Ramos, and then you have the scene where they go into like a tattoo parlor. They're kicking another member's ass. Like those were great scenes. Those were brutality, very well acted scenes by Bishop and the crew. I loved it. And first of all, I was like, "Where's Coco?" No Coco, of course, but the way they handled those scenes were fantastic, especially when Diaz is the charter president of Oakland, comes in, and of course him and Alvarez kind of started this whole thing up. If he's absolutely right, if Alvarez was the primo, the head guy, there you can't start a club with just yourself, right? So I like Diaz. I thought at first I was like, is that Mike from Breaking Bad? I was like, he's younger than Mike. But I like this cat, man. Diaz was not. He had this little toothpick in his mouth. He was such a laid back kind of guy. You know, he's a full of shit kind of guy. But I actually really enjoyed this character, and so he pays. Bishop and the crew are at the hotel, so he pays them a visit. We see Steve again, and you know what? This is another one. Steve, my man Steve, man, he just wants to get those chicks, bro. I'm telling you. I like the conversation with him and Easy. That was a great heart-to-heart conversation because, you know, Easy was a prospect. He did go through all this shit, you know. It's not like Easy was handed a golden platter here. And I got to say, Angel's lines in this episode was fantastic. The jokes in here was great. I mean, the scene when Bishop and Diaz are having a conversation, and you know the whole thing about like killing Flacco and stuff, and like those are your brothers, you're killing your own brothers, and Angel's like, no, man, this is my brother. And the patch, if it says Stockton on that, you guys ain't my brothers. I loved the line delivery by Cardenas. I love this. I love his whole dialogue, even with him and his brother in the beginning when Easy comes in and he's like, "You see, I told you, listen to your big bro." Even when the scene where he's talking to Easy about, you know, Gabby, and like how I love how Gilly's like, "Oh, well, I'm pretty sure your dad don't make him laugh like that," and smile and giggle like a buffoon. Like those were great because Angel. After the end of this episode, you realize like this is not the Gabby. Gabby's gonna die, first of all, but second of all, this is, I guess, what me and Taylor were talking about on Sons of Anarchy that was so good was the women in Sons of Anarchy. Like they knew what this club was all about. Gabby doesn't really know. She knows because she saw Easy get shot. But she's not in this world, right? She's an innocent. She wants to be a nurse. Like, so this relationship is either he's going to let her go or like we all think she's going to die. So that was that was a great conversation with Easy and Angel. And then of course, throughout the whole episode, I think Angel had a solid line delivery and actually had something kind of to do in this episode, which I really appreciated. But going back to, you know, Steve, I love Steve. Don't get me wrong. But was I feeling sorry for him when he's getting his ass kicked? No, I was not feeling sorry for him. Everybody who puts on that patch, that vest, come on, look what the hell you guys are doing. You guys are making drug runs and all that shit. What do you expect? You're going to get your ass kicked. You're going to kill people. And that's exactly what he did. I didn't like the comedic kind of thing where he's like, is he going to be okay? I like the aftermath. I think they should have just not had that line in there. And I think they should have just had the aftermath where he's kind of shocked and he's processing it all. I like that. So with Steve, I don't feel sorry for. All right. When he's getting his ass kicked, didn't feel sorry for him. I mean, the conversation he had with Easy, Like that should just tell you everything that you're getting yourself into, right? Even though Easy tell him don't give up, like boy, you better run, you better get out of there because either you have thick skin and you're ready for this life or you're not. So Steve, I don't feel bad for. It's great to see Steve back though. I don't know if he's going to continue with this club though. Hank, man, Hank was great. Hank really cares for Steve, which I really appreciate that. So going back to the conversation though with Diaz and Bishop, that was a great conversation. That was a great Bishop, like, you know, of course throwing back of like what in the past, but then really talking about like where how the club is now and how it's not what it used to be and how Bishop wants to get it back to being outlaws, you know. And I think that's kind of like a wink to the fans, because the fans are also saying like this is too much of a telenovela, this is too much of a drama. People want it back to like biker kind of situations, and yeah, I could see some of their arguments. So this is kind of like a wink to the fan, like, yeah, let's get back to that outlaw shit. And that's what we got in this episode. We got some outlaw fight kind of shit, which I really appreciate. But that conversation was so heavy, you know, because you were glued to the TV because you want to see where this was going. So I did love the conversation that Bishop wants to get back to. And then him telling Diaz like, hey, I want Ramos. Let's go back to where we were. Come and join me, brother. Come to the dark side, right? And let's go get this motherfucker. And then, you know, Diaz goes, all right, man, you're right. All right, we'll shake hands on it. I'll get my people on it, and we'll go after these. We'll go find Ramos, and we'll take him out. We'll go meet up with Ramos in person and take him out. Stupid of Bishop. Very, very stupid. I feel like every time I watch an episode, sometimes I feel like I should be president. Because it's super obvious and super clear. And I don't know how Easy doesn't see this, because if he's able to catch on to things, I know people, right? I know when they're lying to me and when they're not. That motherfucker was lying. And I knew, first of all, rule 101, just because he says something, you really want to believe it, it's too good to be true. Bishop should have, I thought when he was talking to Taza and he was going back and like talking to Easy and Angel, I thought about Creeper too, I thought he was going to tell him like, hey, we need a backup plan. You make sure you have like, I don't know, you get some guns, you hide them, whatever. I don't care. Just get a backup plan. So, cause if this shit goes down, right? And we ain't meeting with Ramos. They're coming here. Bishop never did that. That's where Bishop looks really bad in this episode. Decision wise, the decisions in these episodes were really stupid. Like if you're like you do not fall for that shit. You don't fall for it. You don't believe that shit. And he did. And I love Bishop. This is why I think Bishop's going to get fucking killed. You know, and a lot of people are saying Easy is going to take over as president. He did a fucking fantastic job at the end of this episode. I still think he's just not ready yet to definitely handle that burden, or not burden, but handle that weight, right? So once again, Easy bails Bishop's ass at the end of this episode. So if you guys don't know, if you guys are a little confused and you guys are like, yeah, but how the fuck did Easy know where, Ramos was going to be? And that cop, I think his name is Grady. So we're going to just kind of go to the ending where Easy comes up with the plan after Ramos comes up with vans and all that stuff, and Diaz betrays him. And that was a great scene because the fucking vans are rolling up. It's tons and tons of fucking Stockton Mayans. Tons and tons. And then even the guy they beat the shit out of in the beginning of the episode is still alive. And holy shit, man, like these guys are like, this is straight up Game of Thrones episode, was it 3? The Night King is like a Night King came. It's like, and Ramos was on his bike, like, fucking get him, doing his little rise. And man, was Bishop and the gang overwhelmed. I love the fights though. But I was like super confused. Like, why would you have Ramos go to the hotel? Why wouldn't you have the boys, exactly what you said, get a pinpoint on Ramos and then go outside that hotel and murder the whole chapter or charter, Bishop and the boys? Why would you do what? Because maybe you're trying to salvage something, you only have beef for Bishop. I don't know. That was such an odd thing. If I'm like Robert De Niro, oh, not Robert De Niro. Yeah, if I'm Robert De Niro, Goodfellas, I'm fucking telling, what's your name? I got some mint coats. Come over here. 101. You know what I'm talking about? Shit, dude. Like, that's like the most, you lay a trap, and it really felt like that Bishop was going into that trap. But no, they do a brawl. No murders really, except one, and it kind of didn't, to me, it didn't make too much sense. But I was very entertained though. I was rooting for, who else was rooting for Hank? Especially when he did that fucking kick on that one guy. Like, I was rooting for Hank. I was like, dude, Hank's a big boy. I want to see this motherfucker like WWE everybody. So, and there's, Creeper gets a nice little shine in here too. It was very baffling. I didn't catch, if you guys could help me, I didn't catch what he told Bishop when Bishop was about to jet out. But Creeper stayed behind, which I thought his life was definitely in danger, but apparently not. But the fight was great. The camera work was really good. The camera work in this episode, when it comes to action, and especially this season, I've seen better. It was great. There was some good shots. It really made you kind of feel in the brawl. But I have seen better camera work. But it was great. I had fun. I had fun with that brawl. It just, to me, is like, it's not the way you execute these guys, especially when it's just punching and shit. You got to remember, though, I guess because they're still Mayans, right? Diaz made a point saying that these are your brothers, so maybe they didn't want to wipe out. Maybe they had to give a clear and okay, but I don't know. It was very odd to me that they didn't just set them up for a trap. So yeah, that happens, and then of course Bishop and the gang they flee. The flee was a little weird too. I thought the cops should have been right on their ass, but they didn't get caught. Once again, Easy lays out a plan. I got a plan. And then Grady is the guy they blackmailed in season 2. So it is I guess that was his territory, I believe. So he was able to get Ramos into the cop car and act like, he was working for him. But in all honesty, that was really odd though, right? It's so odd because he's in the car and Ramos says, just drop me off here. So Easy was at that exact spot. It wasn't Grady that said, I'm going to drop you off here. It was Ramos that said, I'm going to drop you off here. And then Easy shoots him in the head, which was an awesome moment. But it's like, that doesn't make any sense. It's like Ramos knew, he saw the script right next to him. He's like, oh yeah, drop me right here. That was a bad Ramos. So yeah, that was a little sloppy in this episode. A little sloppy. Those are the two main issues. But if I kind of look over it a little bit, it was still kind of really fun. This was a fun episode. This was definitely a more fast-paced kind of episode, but it makes no sense, right? So Easy must be really knows Ramos's thoughts to know that he was going to get dropped off right there. The comedic too at the end of that scene after him shooting Ramos was very bad. I did not like the comedic. Grady was this actor was really hamming it up in a scene where not necessarily. There's a reason why you get death scenes like this and they don't put any comedy in those scenes, because you take the tension, you take the tone away. The tone was great throughout this episode, right? It really felt like you really felt the tension a lot in this episode, but there were some moments like that where the tension just completely went away. Easy showing up to Gabby's dinner. We do get a little bit of Gabby and Easy. You could tell that he's in love. It was very funny to me because he was sitting at the table eating, and of course he was bleeding by the knuckles, but his face is pretty as always, even though he was getting his ass whooped. So I thought that was hilarious. And then and then of course Bishop, he gets bailed out again. What is Alvarez going to do? He keeps saying he's not a Mayan, but fucking once you're a Mayan, I guess you're always a Mayan, right? So I don't know. And then now especially, I didn't see Diaz fucking bite the dust there. I think he was arrested like everybody else. So there's still a war to be had. Even though Ramos is gone, you got Conche, and then you have, now you have Diaz who betrayed, and then you have Paulo. So there's still, Ramos is gone, but there's still people that need to be killed. Bishop is not doing a good job. Bishop should be smarter than this. And that's the difference between him and Marcus. Look at Marcus and how he takes out people. Yeah, even though I love Bishop, it's clearly obvious that he's just not he's not the greatest president on the whole face of the earth, right? So then we get into Adelita, and Adelita's shit, what the hell was his name? I had his name and I was trying to remember it, but so Adelita, the one who took over after she was gone, I can't remember. I had it in my head the whole time, but I guess it's gone. Well, anyway, Adelita, shows back up with Minnie. Minnie tells her like the shit that went down, like when she left, like maybe there was some abuse. There was a lot of, it was a fight that had no meaning to it, basically. And so she ends up killing the guy who was loyal to him or loyal to her. And then kind of just taking all these refugees and shaving their heads. So G.I. Janeing it. So basically. So Los Oliveros, my Mexican accent, was in a bad shape. And the guy was, I can't remember his name. The guy was telling her like, all these excuses and stuff. But I think you could see it in his eyes. Like he knew he was going to die. And he knew he kind of really did love her. So I was like, I actually really did enjoy. I thought that was a nice scene. Now Adelita's back and we'll see what's going on. I do love the line though, just to get back to Bishop real quick, that he said, fuck Galindo and the cartel. Marcus is part of that. So yeah, that's crazy. But Adelita gets little screen time again, but it looks like they're still setting up stuff. I'm kind of curious to see if they're really believing they're going to get another season. And that's why we might get we won't get the Sons and Mayans war until maybe the next season. And it seems like the Adelita situation and maybe Galindo won't happen till like more of that won't happen till next season. I really feel like that they maybe they got the word they're going to be renewed and they're like, okay, let's focus on this and let's leave this for next season, which is going to be our grab, our people who are interested in this stuff are going to be like, oh shit, it's Sons and Mayans time, this war. Maybe, I'm not sure. Don't hold me to that. It's not like I read anything. I just kind of like the top of my head. So yeah, that's Coco. Yeah, the war, which, like I said, really great, just fun, I guess. I wouldn't call it fun, but it was good to see this episode a little bit more faster paced. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything. Letty's looking good. She's on the screen right now. Letty's looking pretty good. It looks like she cleaned up a little bit. So I feel bad for the actress though, because we're already we only have like 3 more episodes left, and she's barely in this. But I think she now, like I said, that she's going to start becoming. I don't think Coco's dead. Spotlight goes to Gilly. Gilly was great in this episode. Great jokes. Held it down in the fight. Like I said, dialogue-wise, though, Angel was the top-notch on that one. It's going to be very interesting talking about like maybe some predictions, because I can see this going quite a bit of different kind of ways. No Emily, no Galindo, Miguel. Don't have to bitch about them this week. There was just too much going on in this episode that we had to focus on. It was definitely mostly the war aspect and the trying to find Ramos kind of thing. I saw a little bit of the promo. Looks like Ibarra is still alive. So we'll see how that's all handled. But overall, this was a great episode. I really enjoyed some of it doesn't make any sense. There was still a little bit of problems, but pacing wise, entertainment wise, I was really entertained by this episode. So I would actually give this. I want to give it a 9. I'm right there. I'm like super close to a 9. I'm going to give it a 9. I'm going to get a 9 out of 10 because it started off with a bang, and it kind of really captured me through the whole episode. Yes, there was a little bit of, like I said, there was a little moments where the tension was dropped a little bit, but then it picked right back up a little. But overall, it really kept me entertained. It was kind of like a response to people who didn't like the last episode. If you didn't like the last episode, then why wouldn't you like this episode, right? And that's me. Me was one of them, where I was like, okay, this is a slower episode, but I knew it was building upon now we're next episode is going to be fast paced, and that's exactly what I got. So I can't bitch about it. So I got to give it a 9 out of 10 because it did exactly what I said it should do, and it entertained me. It was a little bit of sloppy in the writing. I would have cleaned it up a little bit with the easy situation and that whole execution, even with the Ramos situation coming in, fucking beating everybody up with his crew. But I think, and then, of course, you have other storylines still out there that we didn't get addressed a lot. I mean, Paulo is still out there. We don't know where the hell he is, what's going on there. You still have the LNG. Adelita is kind of like, we want a little bit more. Adelita needed to be focused on this episode because we need to see what she's going to do next. Even though it moved it forward a little bit, but it was definitely like a sprint forward for Adelita and what she's going to do. So enjoyed it. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I thought it was great. If an episode could make me go, oh shit, oh man, oh, it did its job. It did its job. But then again, I did do that for a lot of crappy episodes. I'm like, oh shit, oh man, oh. But anyway. Thank you guys. So we will be breaking this down and predicting this on Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, me and Taylor. So I know you guys, if you guys want to comment, join our live stream. We might actually go a little bit earlier because there's just so much to talk about. But please check that out. Check out my other videos as well. I have other Mortal Kombat's coming up. I'm going to be watching Demon Slayer on Saturday. And then, of course, I think Kurt Sutter at some point is going to have a new show. So I would like to see that or a movie as well. I know a lot of people still follow Kurt Sutter. So I will continue to start reviewing his work, and just have fun with the channel. It's a pop culture channel, so there's everything: movies, TV, music, baking, whatever. I got it. Subscribe to the channel, would really appreciate it. It goes a long way. So anybody who's not subscribed, please subscribe. Please like the video to support this channel, make it go a long way as well. And you could find me on Twitch, dman80528, or on Instagram, danthemanreviews. So I will see you guys later. This is a 9 out of 10 episode for me. I actually really enjoyed the hell out of it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Give me your rating. I'm Dan the Man. Down soon. I'm out of here. Bye, guys.